In Necrotic World, Season 3, Work Done, Episode 59, Pendulums. Welcome, strangers. Friction often leads to kinetic energy being lost as thermal energy, so heat, and potentially also sound energy. Invar, INVAR, is a material that's often used in clock pendulums, so time is less lost. So time is less lost on the back of thermal expansion and contraction. See, that's interesting because railway, so like train tracks under the sun, expand because the steel absorbs energy. Invar, not so much, so it's better. Wooden frames, like my house's door, expand so moisture is absorbed from the atmosphere. Because in the summer, the hotter temperatures make the air relatively humid. I bet this would be an issue in the Amazon rainforest, and while wood lice are annoying, but you get those in the UK too, so don't make a wooden door if you want to use it regularly in a humid climate country. Pendulums used to be the most accurate timekeepers of the ancient world, as in not ancient, but as in comparison to the world now ancient. Perpetual motion machines are impossible, but the archives on people's imaginations and advertising is unbelievable. It's hilarious, okay? I love how a business guy got an employee to design a water wheel that was to be considered for perpetual motion. It's hilarious. It assumes that the device could spin forever, but the law of conservation of energy clearly states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only transferred from one form to another. It wouldn't be much use, really, other than, hey, it works, perpetual motion, yes! To get energy that could be used, some would need to be wasted energy. You cannot get useful energy without wasted energy. You would need more energy pouring out of it than can be used to make it work. Energy cannot be pulled out of thin air, no matter how good the magician may be. It would be another trick of the market. It's more of a, can I make a very well balanced flywheel and get a curator to give it a slight nudge every so often, because as long as it has less friction as per use of momentum, it will keep turning. You always have to add energy. Obviously, I would never assume total impossibility. Feel free to attempt to prove everyone wrong and manifest energy from thin air by building a perpetual motion machine. Let me know when you have it made. A genuine one. Not a hidden battery source version, like those things they sell in the market. It's science, not alchemy. It's not a bag of tricks that I'd like to see conjured up. Mate, you're not a wizard. I'm terribly sorry to crush your dreams, but you're not a wizard. I could never assume impossibility, inherently impossible neither. I'd be open and willing and well present for anything that I can be there for, honestly. Pendulums convert GPE, which is gravitational potential energy, to kinetic energy and back again, constantly flipping states, energy stores really, but also obviously releasing thermal energy, so the pendulum loses its momentum over time and ultimately will come to a stop. It's like no matter how hard you push a swing, the swing will come to a rest and just hang perpendicular-ish to the frame in question. I love swings. Who else loves swings? I'm sure you guys love swings. Who doesn't love swings? It's been ages since I've gone on the swings in the park. I don't know if I could even, or maybe I'm too old for it. You know the roller coaster, like Dave the skateboard guy, who goes up one side to up the other side backwards and forwards? It gains GPE, gravitational potential energy, when it goes up, and this is converted into KE, kinetic energy, as it falls. As the kinetic energy increases, the speed increases. On the other side, naturally, it does the opposite thing. The kinetic energy decreases, so the speed decreases. Dave loses energy as heat is radiated into the surroundings, so dissipated. This means that there's a lower speed, so goes up less high. Ultimately, much like the pendulum, it would come to a halt, as no more energy is inputted after the initial input. Obviously, Dave is a rule-following person like everybody else, and the total energy is conserved in this system. I mean, the rule being the law of conservation of energy. Energy in equals energy out, yeah? Imagine the engineers just timing how long it would take to stop and how much electrics is required. I mean, fun job to design a roller coaster. A simple roller coaster in this system. I mean, this system is a simple roller coaster, right? A simple roller coaster would be fun to design, but I guess, a simple roller coaster is fun to design, but I guess with the complex one, there would be a lot of safety checks required and measurements. I mean, I remember when I went to Thorpe Park on Colossus, there was a guy with his friends, and he was trying to cut in to get to the back seat. The person who was orchestrating the seating said, delegating the seating, orchestrating, sure, why not? The seating said no, and gave them the seat in front of us. So we got the back seats as we were behind them in the queue. He was like, oh man. After the Colossus, the guy was like, no, we need more G-force. I mean, it was hilarious, G-force. He was talking about physics on the roller coaster and even off the roller coaster and before the roller coaster. I mean, mate, just enjoy the ride. I totally understand the G-force thing, but come on, as Ian Malcolm says in Jurassic Park, quotes marks, we're in the hands of engineers, end of quotation marks. So as much as I want to feel heavier, so it's a more dramatic ride, I acknowledge the importance of safety levels and like all that procedures and risk assessments and all that. I mean, the Colossus is a relatively basic roller coaster, but it does have a G-force of a little over 4G, so that means that a force of 4 times gravity is acting on the passengers. As we were in the back seat, we get sort of a bit more airtime, sort of thing, in that we might feel a slightly higher G-force, but not drastically different. You know Colossus? Colossus is like the younger sister of Hyperia. Hyperia was epic. Colossus, I was banging my heads on the side of the seat. But Hyperia was like, you go down like that. That's it. There was no even point in screaming, because my friend, I was trying to shout to her. I was like, this is crazy. I was trying to shout that, but she was like, what? It was crazy. Totally recommend. Thorpe Park, really cool. See you next time at Physics in Necrotic World. This is your host, Rimona Christian, R out.